Hello everybody, this is going to be a short, hopefully 10-minute long video that's going to demonstrate how to use the new iPads that have been donated to Pioneer Sportsman's Club. We recently acquired 17 of these things for the IDPA group, which is fantastic because the Nooks were great, but eventually they're going to break, and the iPads, well, they're pretty amazing devices. What we're going to do today is going to show you the differences between the Nook and the iPads. So this way, when you're handed the iPad come end of September and say, hey, go score a major match, you'll have some familiarity with this. If you want to practice at home, contact me and I can send you some data files. So this way you can play on your own if you like. So some differences that you'll see is just the screen size. So the screen size is much larger. It's very visible. We're debating on what we're going to get right now. This is the thing called the practice shade. It really helps out in the sun so you can see things. We're going to make a final decision on what that's going to be shortly. But as you go into your screen, you'll see white and you'll see gray. Everything that's in gray you're locked out of, you just can't get to. These other devices down the bottom, you'll never have a need to even get in there, but they're also kind of password protected in the back. But enter scores are where you're going to be primarily living. So when you get your Nook or your iPad, click enter scores. You're also going to notice a difference. It's only going to show you one stage, and the stage number should match the sticker that is presented on your pad. You can't really see it right now because it's a little dark. Dory's trying, but she can't. But it should match. So you're only going to be able to score that stage. So stage 2, what we're scoring. You're presented with the squads for the major match. We really quite haven't decided exactly what we're going to do, but we believe a 3x5 card is going to be handed to every shooter for a chronograph and equipment check. And it's also going to define what stage squad number they are. So this way, when they come to your stage, they'll know what squad number they are, so you can pick the right squad. So in this example, squad 4 came into our bay, and I think there's 11 shooters on this, which will be typical of what you're going to be getting. We're going to preset this ahead for you, but this is what we're going to suggest. Right now they're sorted by a random. If you click this little icon up top, you're going to say choose sort, and we're going to sort by last name. This is going to sort everybody by last name. Typically, I think there's 12 stages, 11 shooters per stage, so pretty much everybody but one person is going to go first once. What I suggest is your squad 4, pick the 4th person down to be your first shooter, etc., etc. So this way it goes Ivan, Wilmer, Joe, etc., etc. I'm open to suggestions on how to get the squad numbers and squad sorting right, but I think this is going to be a pretty reasonable way that we kind of assign the squatting versus letting the shooters assign the squatting. So this way you guys can just go right in order. Be easiest for you. You'll see how this works in a second. So Ivan's our first shooter. We click Ivan. This is the review screen and the data entry screen. You'll notice that it's pretty big. Secondly, one of the things that we had issues with the Nooks was hits on non-threats. So as you're scoring, you couldn't really move quickly. Now you'll notice you see all your procedurals right there, and you can rotate really quickly between top and bottom. So we'll demonstrate how this works a couple times, and then we'll show you other options. So Ivan shoots it in 1.23 seconds. Press enter. Now he has his time in there. Unlike the Nook, the iPad is going to force you to touch every target. So our targets over here, this has 9 targets. In this configuration, you have to hit the plus button every time in order to score a target. Ivan's doing pretty good up until target 6. Target 7, he did good. Target 9, he didn't do so good on. He was required best 2 on paper, so he was down 10. So I had to press that 10 button a lot of times. He had no procedurals. Click review. At this point, this is the opportunity for the shooter to see what they have. And I believe John Wolf is going to make the requirement that the shooter press the approve button to acknowledge they've received their score. So once you review it, if they want to take a picture, let them take a picture. As long as it doesn't slow the match down, I would suggest doing this up range at this point, or while people are still taping. So Ivan was our shooter. He verified he's Ivan, his ESP, his time, his scores, his penalty. He hits approve. Boom. Now goes into back to your squad screen. Wilmer Cruz is our shooter. He comes in, he shoots the stage, we press the time. He did this in 2.56 seconds. You press enter. He did very well on every single target. He got zeros on everything. Oh, but somebody said he got a hit on a non-threat. Don't know how that was possible, so you can just scroll down, hit 1, and then keep going back and scoring your targets. This way you can go back between hits on non-threats and scoring at the same time. Hit review. Comes back, the shooter reviews it, the shooter presses approve, and now we can start to see how the squad is building up. As you'll notice, our first shooter was Ivan, Wilmer, and it puts a time in there, so this way you guys can see who's next. Flanagan's next. Joe Flanagan comes up to shoot, and you're realizing you're not liking this plus-minus format so much. Up on the top right, there's a little keyboard, so if you press the keyboard, you notice that now it takes away the pluses and minuses. So let's demonstrate how this works. So Joe shoots, Joe gets a time. Joe does this in 5.63 seconds. Press enter. So what we have to do now is press target, brings up a keypad. He was down 2. Press target 2, he was down 0. Press target 3, he was down 2. Press target 4, he was down 9. Press target 5, he was down 3. He's not having a good day up until now. He got a 0. Target 7, he was down 8. Target 12, he was down 25 because this was a special 6 on target or something. On target 9, he was down 0. And again, you can scroll back and forth as you do these and hit if you had a non-threat or a procedural or whatever it might be as you call them. If you made a mistake and realized, oh, that down 25 was a down 5, just retype in the 5. Click review. Shooter reviews, have the shooter press the approve button. So let's demonstrate this again. So Michael Frontoni comes up, he shoots it and does it in 1, 2, 3 seconds. Target 1, he does it in down 2. Target 2 is down 0. Target 3 is down 0. Target 4 is down 0. Target 5 is down 0. Target 6 is down 5. Target 7 is down 6. Target 8 is down 2. Target 9 is down 6, and he had a procedural error. Actually, no, he had a flagrant. So keep in mind, folks, all flagrants and all FTDRs must be reported to your match director ASAP. When we retrieve the scores, we're going to be asking you if they have been reviewed. If they have been reviewed, we'll continue on. If they have not been reviewed, we will get the match director for you. So he hits review, and you approve him, and you realize, you know what? I really don't like that method. How do I get back? So Jeffrey Harrison comes up to shoot. All you simply do is press the keyboard button back and forth. You'll notice that the scores, every time you do it, it changes the method. Figure out what method works for you best. There's pros and cons to each one. We can discuss those offline. So let's talk about what happens next. So Jeff Harrison, he goes to load and make ready, and for whatever reason he turns 180 degrees and he sweeps the entire stage. Instantaneous DQ. What I need you guys to do is press the DQ button. There's a button right here. Press the DQ. It asks you if you want to do this. You're going to say yes or no. Maybe you pressed it by accident. Let's say he actually did this. So hit yes. It's going to review it. You're going to approve it. Up to you if you want to make Jeff press the approve button. Use your best discretion. Hit approve. You'll now notice that Jeff Harrison's been DQ'd. This is really important for us so that during the scoring we can keep track of these things and essentially know. Let's move on to the second scenario. Paul comes up. Paul, he starts to shoot it, blah, 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 and he has a gun malfunction. He has something, he gets a call from his wife, he has to go home, and he can't finish the match. This is secondarily important, the DNF is did not finish. This is very important to press this button, so this will signify to us that he didn't finish the match. So when we're reviewing the scores and we have 11 out of 12 stages for Paul, we see a DNF, we're not going to go crazy looking for things. So we're going to press yes, it's going to DNF him, we're going to hit approve, and now we'll see Paul as DNF. So now let's make an example. Let's say a staff member didn't get to finish the staff match on Friday. John Wolf, you don't see him in your stage. We're going to press the stage button, which will bring it back. We're going to say leave this squad. You notice this is kind of nice. Not all shooters have scores. It helps you keep in mind. You're going to come back and say all shooters. And you can quickly find Wolf by hitting the search button. Finding Wolf. There he is. Click onto him. He shoots. He had a really horrible time of 999, but he was mostly accurate because he got all zeros. Again, he had to press every button. He had no procedurals. Hit review. Hit approve. John's done. Now you got to get back to your squad. You hit the back button, squad 4, and then you can continue on. And notice what's nice is we have an organizational chart of these 6 shooters went. Rolf Croy, he's next. He's on deck. So in short, that's kind of the summarization of what's going on with the iPads versus the Nooks. I think it's fairly simple. Most of you folks have done a lot of scoring. If you have questions, just email me. I'll try to get them onto a video for you, or we can discuss over the phone or the email. But we can't wait to look forward and have you all folks down here at I'll Live Free or Die 2017. Thanks. See you soon.